wherein I argued that if I were an adoption agency and I had two wonderful couples, same sex and then there was no same sex marriage, and a married man and woman, I would give the child to the man and woman, because I believe that all things being equal, and I kept emphasizing that, it is best for a child to have a mother and father. By the way, all the gay couples in my life, and I am very close to a number, I'm the godfather of one of the couple's children, agree it is the ideal is to have a mother and father.
Patrick Bet David had Dennis Prager from Prager University on the show, the PBD podcast, where they were him and others were discussing the impact of media censorship, politics, and the Trump Rogan podcast. Okay, so Patrick Bet David and others also talk about the podcast visibility and the political bias and media covering the whole Trump and Rogan podcast interview. And Patrick Bet Davis also to discuss Trump and Rogan's ideology, as well as the fact that PBD and others went into discussion about the moral compass in politics. And then there's also Patrick Bet David and Prager are talking about the cultural transformation, where Prager criticizes the idea of fundamentally transforming America, as previously stated by Obama, arguing that, such a mindset is inconsistent with loving one's country. So here's Patrick Bet David and others on the PBD podcast. Let's go ahead and listen.
Dennis Prager, have you watched the Joe Rogan Trump interview?
Only segments of it.
So what did you think about the fact that this interview today, which Elon Musk just tweeted it out, saying right now, if you type in, Rob, if you go on Google right now, YouTube, and you type in Rogan and Trump, if you just go on YouTube, okay, just go on YouTube Fresh, Rob. Close it. Go to YouTube Fresh. This is the homepage. Just go brandnewyoutube.com. And if you can go there, Rob, and just type in Rogan Trump. And the first one should come up because it's got 30 plus million. Zoom in a little bit so we can see it. Okay, zoom in a little bit if you can see it, Rob. There you go.
Don't see it.
So The Hill, 30,000 views. MSNBC, no, at the top. MSNBC, 176. The Hill, 422. Let's go a little bit lower to see what's next. So the next one is still not him. That's Watch Mojo, not him.
None of them.
That's a Thoughts on the podcast that he does with Bravo and others. Not him. That's a clip, not him. Then CNN, keep going, not him. Not the podcast. Keep going, not the podcast. Not the podcast. Do you see? Even we're before the interview of the podcast.
Wow.
And it's not even a podcast. Yeah. So, by the way, however, if you want to find it, go to the filter, Rob, if you can do it the way you did it.
Unbelievable.
To go to the filter of views, to solve for the most views. Tell me how this makes any sense. The most viewed interview is 34 million views in 2 days. And you mean to tell me if I type in Rogan and Trump, I cannot see it on the channel here? So from the clips that you saw, thoughts on some of the clips, thoughts on the whole event that took place, the podcast.
I have a few. First, the thought that a Nazi and fascist would be willing to subject himself to hours of grilling that he had no idea where it would go is unlikely. His willingness to be grilled by people with whom he differs, if indeed he differs with Joe Rogan, but with others with whom he did, compared to hers, why did she refuse to go on, is a more important question even than why did he agree to. We assume he will agree to. Anything that will give him exposure, he will allow himself to be subjected to questioning. She won't, for good reason. They say it was a mistake that she did not go on Joe Rogan. That is not correct. She is so intellectually unimpressive. Forget morally or politically, just intellectually. She is so unimpressive. She could not handle it. And so she is better off not having appeared than having...
You believe that?
Oh,
Now, Prager right here with Patrick Bet David discussed Kamala Harris on appearing on Joe Rogan's podcast show and on the Joe Rogan Experience, where and it's actually understandable because we kept hearing how Rogan offered the campaign to offer Kamala Harris to appear on the podcast, and then they turned it down. But they also had demands and everything where they want Rogan to go ahead and then just travel to where Kamala's located, and then they only want to do a 1 hour interview. I mean, if this for 1 hour, that just shows enough right then and there how they're trying to not only protect Kamala, but also how this is all that she's capable of doing. You know, Trump, as you all know, went on ahead and did an interview almost like up to 3 hours and everything, you know, just simply by talking. You know, Joe Rogan wanted to do the same thing with Kamala that he did with Trump, is that like basically showed the more human side of Kamala Harris, as well as like not only on policy, but show like the kind of human being that she is, the kind of character that she has and stuff. But the fact of the matter is, and Patrick Bet David, I don't know why I keep calling him Patrick Bet Davis, but Patrick Bet David, he continues with, you know, like bringing up the fact that, you know, YouTube did some heavy censorship with the Trump and, you know, Joe Rogan interview, and all they did was have clips. We all remember that. And then next, you know, later on, they finally had it added back up. But this is all pretty interesting. If you enjoy what I said in this video, go ahead and smash the like button, share this video forward across social media. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
I absolutely believe it.
So you think if she went for 3 hours, what would have happened?
The vapidness of her thinking process would be so clear that it would be as embarrassing, if not more so, than the Joe Biden appearance in the debate with Donald Trump.
Let me ask you this. Do you think she knows the meaning of the vapidness? Like, you think she knows what vapidness means?
Absolutely.
Because it took you 2 words to start off with a big word to say the vapidness.
You know why? It's funny. I love the word vapid for whatever reason, because I can't think of something that quite approximates the power of vapid. Vapid is an immense emptiness. It's emptiness to the third
unsophisticated,
power.
right?
Like no, empty. It means literally
vapid.
Yeah, unsophisticated is a given. Yes, right, but that. You know, you will find this fascinating. You could do it right now. Dennis Prager, Kamala Harris on CNN. With Larry King, the late Larry King, when she was running for Attorney General of California. I was, by coincidence, I believe, on the same show with Larry King when CNN used to have me on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah, is this it?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, well,
and what
clearly,
happened?
yeah.
Tell us about it.
No, it was just so the issue arose about a same-sex couple adopting a kid, and I argued. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, I look much younger than she.
What year was this, Dennis?
Oh, I don't. It's a good
14 years ago. I just found.
Is it 14 years ago?
Please,
yeah.
keep going. I'll find it.
No, anyway, I just thought you'd find this event. The subject was the one that I remember, wherein I argued that if I were an adoption agency and I had 2 wonderful couples, same sex and then there was no same sex marriage, and a married man and woman, I would give the child to the man and woman, because I believe that all things being equal, and I kept emphasizing that, it is best for a child to have a mother and father. By the way, all the gay couples in my life, and I am very close to a number, I'm the godfather of one of the couple's children, agree. It is the ideal is to have a mother and father.
Well, the thing is that I remember that as well. That was around the time during Obama's presidency and the re-election campaign, where, you know, Obama actually stated that he believes that same-sex couples should be married and everything, and that's where it all started. And Kamala, as you all have seen from that part of the clip where she was debating, you know, Dennis Prager at the time on Larry King Live on CNN, where, you know, they should have that and everything. And this is the kind of thing that, you know, I'm pretty sure this is what also helped to spearhead her political career. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, this is just basically giving more insight on this Patrick Bet David show, where they basically go ahead and also expose Kamala on the type of, like, not only the type of person she is, but how capable is she to, like, do any kind of debate, discussion, etc. Okay, I mean, even Tulsi Gabbard tore Kamala up at the debate back in 2019, you know, and it's a shame, but Patrick Bet David, there I go again, is continuing to, like, expose Kamala as well as the rest of the left about this in this discussion with Dennis Prager.
To deny that is just dishonest. So I said to her, I'm just curious, if you have a wonderful same-sex couple, wonderful heterosexual couple, and everything you know of is equivalent, what would your position be if you were an adoption agency? And she refused to answer the question.
And that shows right there how not only Kamala, but also a number of other people on the left, because when it showed that Kamala didn't have any empathy. Dennis Prager shows that she doesn't have any empathy, and she's also not prepared for any hypotheticals. And also Patrick Bet-David is also one who will do the same thing to like show people who he's either have a debate with or discussion with, to like show like if they have any kind of sense of empathy where they could put themselves in another person's shoes to see what kind of choice they would make and stuff. But the thing is, people like others on the left who would just refuse to answer the question because they know that their rhetoric or their ideology would be exposed, and then they'll be go ahead and be torn up and put into shambles.
It was so fascinating to anybody listening that, well, I would need to know more.
Were you so impressed with her that you said one day she's going to run for president?
Amazing that you should have read my mind.
Were you like,
yes.
Oh my gosh, she's so impressive.
The president of the Santa Monica Coin Society. Yes,
okay, but go back to with the Trump and Rogan podcast, right?
Yeah.
32 million views. He does it. It's all over the place. Independents, because Rogan's got the biggest independent viewership, undecided voters. He's probably got that base. How big of an impact do you think that has on the election?
So the question is, and I don't know, and no one knows, how many quote unquote undecideds are there? Because it's as my producer said to me the other day, Dennis, do we know any undecideds? Like, do they live in a certain city? Are they in a suburb of Cleveland? Where are the? I hope there are undecideds. I'm not. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm a bit doubtful that there's this gigantic undecideds vote. There might be.
Poll of watching this. Who is an undecided voter? Who is watching this podcast that has still not made a decision who they're voting for? Just put yes, no. I'm actually curious to know what this percentage is. But go ahead.
No. So it's yes. Let me put it to you this way: if there really are, any serious number of undecideds, it would seem to me that it would be breaking on his behalf. I mean, I don't know what appeal that she has, except that is there a serious percentage of undecideds that believe he is a Nazi? By the way, I just want to say something about the Nazi charge. It is a shame on Jewish groups like the Anti-Defamation League that they do not, on a daily basis, condemn in the name of protecting Jews, condemning those who call Trump a Nazi and a fascist. All of this this is critical. If I came to say one thing, this might be the most important. The calling of Trump a Nazi and a fascist, all it does is reduce the power of the word Nazi and fascist to repulse decent human beings. Mm-hmm. They have cheapened the greatest evil. And why Jewish groups are not unanimous in condemning the Democrats, and it's not just Kamala Harris, it's the Democrats, for using the term like nothing, like water, is a shame on the ADL and other groups that claim to defend Jews.
You forgot. And also interesting. If you enjoyed what was shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share this video far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoy all the content that I post to this channel, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification. And also, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. I really do want to see what you all think about all of this. All right, so like I said, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share this video far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.